Okay, it is 2 o'clock. I think we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Doug Twitchell. I am the Director of Distributor Relations here at 3A Composites. And I'll be here today with your presenters, along with Alan Plunkett and Anna Gregg, Ryan Cothran, and Hannah Wells. We're excited to share this message with you today. We know that a lot of you know that we have 3 manufacturing plants in the U.S. We have 2 in Kentucky and 1 in North Carolina. And today we're going to be taking you to all 3 of those locations to show you what we're doing as far as sustainability. So you'll get to see firsthand each one of those locations, what's going on in those facilities. Special thanks to Ryan and to Amy for taking time, spending it with us, letting us go around the plant, ask a lot of stupid questions, and just be patient with us overall. So today, Anna and Alan and I are going to present a lot of this information to you. We created a video when we were there, and we'll show you that video today. We are not professionals at taking video, and that will be very evident today as you see the video, but we're getting better. Mm-hmm. And I think what you'll see, though, is that we captured most of the really important things that are going to be of interest to you today. So as we go through it, the key points are going to be there for you. But some of the things that we want you to know up front is that we at Composites, we have more of a focus on sustainability. We didn't really realize how good we were at it until we started digging into it, and we found that we do a lot of things very well already, but it's a little bit fragmented. And so a lot of our efforts now are to coordinate the efforts in all 3 of these manufacturing plants so that it's more of a company-focused effort. And by company now, I mean also our other locations around the world, as we're working more closely with our European team over there to have a more of a consolidated effort toward what we're doing and working together. So while our current story is good, we're excited about the future. And today you're going to meet Ryan Cothran, and he's got some exciting news to share with you. As always, send your questions in the chat box, and we will catch a lot of those at the end today. With that, I will introduce you to a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Alan Plunkett.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you. My name's Alan Plunkett. I'm Director of Retail Design and Sustainability for 3A Composites. And we thought it was really interesting to show you this and what we're doing. I've been in sustainability since about 2004. The first PLA product that came to the market from Cargill, polylactic acid, a corn bio-based plastics. So I've got a long history in sustainability. And through the years, the way that has evolved has really been fascinating to me, especially the last 3 or 4 years. I work with North America's largest retailers on a daily basis, McDonald's, Walmart, Kroger, whoever, everybody on a daily basis on their design. And it's really been interesting to see the evolution from what products do you have that are recyclable or environmentally friendly to now where these retailers and companies are really asking you questions about what's your manufacturing process like from a sustainable method? What kind of steps are you taking there? And was really pleased when I started to get with Ryan and everyone at 3A in putting that story together for our retailers, the steps that we are taking. And it's really fascinating to go through, and it's kind of the wave of things going through in the future. And then I'll introduce you now to Anna Gregg, and she'll give you an example about a big box situation that we had.
Hi, yes, thank you. My name's Anna, and I am the sustainability intern with 3A. And going off what Alan was saying, recently we filled out a sustainability survey that was asking questions about the efforts at manufacturing plants, our carbon footprint, questions on operations and supply chains, and this came from a large retailer, and so we're expecting to see more surveys like this coming out that will be focused and detailed. And today with us we have Ryan, who is our Senior Environmental Health and Safety Manager.
Yeah, so hi, my name's Ryan Cothran. I'm the Senior EHS Manager for 3A Composites Americas. And I've been with the company since August of 2018 as the Benton EHS manager just at one of our sites, and recently stepped into this new role. One of my main focuses will be driving sustainability efforts within North America's facilities through the development of sustainability management systems at the production level and beyond. So with that little piece, I'll kick it back over to Alan for the video.
Okay, so we're going to go to a little 15-minute video. Doug mentioned it's not professionally done. Keep in mind it's an old man learning new tricks putting this together. But we'll hand it off now to Hannah Wells, our magician behind the scenes, to run the video. So grab a soda, popcorn, and we'll sit back and watch a little video. Hello and welcome to another edition of 3A Composites Live Learning. As always, my name is Alan Plunkett, Director of Retail Design and Sustainability, and with me today is...
Hi, I'm Anna and I'm the Sustainability Intern for 3A.
Today, as we crisscross across this country trying to teach you everything we can about 3A Composites material, we're in the beautiful bluegrass state of Kentucky. Happens to be the home of my alma mater, Eastern Kentucky University. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be in Benton, Kentucky, and then tomorrow we're going to bring you video from Glasgow, Kentucky. Where we're at today, Benton, Kentucky, happens to be a stone's throw away from Murray State University, where I happen to compete in college. I can proudly say I hit 3 home runs while I was there. But more important than that, Anna's and a cast of characters are going to talk to you today about a special subject.
We're going to go in and we're going to explore all the different sustainability operations that we do within this facility.
So come on inside with us. We'll introduce you to Doug Twitchell and a cast of characters as we watch a bunch of different 3A composite materials being manufactured.
Okay, so the first product that we're going to talk to you about today is the Sintra material. Sintra is a foam PVC material that we have made in this facility since the mid-1980s. And Ryan, maybe you can tell us some about the sustainable aspects of the Sintra material.
Absolutely. So as part of our ISO 14001 goals and initiatives, we're always trying to explore new ways that we can improve our processes. So we started over in Sintra, and with that we identified kind of one that jumped out at us was our Sintra saw fines. The saw fines are collected from the line, basically when we cut the sheet, and they're put into large containers that are stored at the facility and then eventually sent out for disposal as a non-haz waste. But kind of based on what the material is, we thought there would be maybe a way to reintroduce or reuse that product in the market. So we contacted a company and they were interested in buying the product from us. And so they use it as an additive for additional processes downstream. So we send out now about 160,000 pounds of that material to this company, and they reuse it in the market, and we're no longer sending it to landfill.
Wow. So nice. And what about some of the other aspects of the sheet materials that we may not be first quality, or the edge trim that comes off of the line? What do we do with that material?
Yeah, absolutely. So edge trim and just scrap in general that comes off the line is collected and just reground into our process through regrind. So we put it back in and we reuse it for future production.
That's terrific. So you can see that with Sintra material, every aspect of the material is reused within the plant, or even the saw fines now, we have a way for that to go into another product. So sustainable aspects of the Sintra material are excellent. Okay, next item that we're going to talk about is our aluminum composite materials that we manufacture here in Benton. We make Alucobond and started making Alucobond in 1978. The other item that we make here is D-Bond, which is a very similar process. It's a lighter weight material for the sign and graphic industry, also aluminum composite material. But the first step in creating that aluminum composite material is to paint aluminum. And the paints that we use here in Benton are very different from the paint that you would go to Home Depot or Lowe's to buy. These are not air dry paints. So these have to be baked on at a very high temperature in order to cure the paints. And Ryan, maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that come along with having these specialized paints and having to cure them at high temperature.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the paint line, we took the same approach with the ISO standard and said, hey, how can we improve, right? So we looked at that process and looked at our solvent production. Like, well, what do we use in the production process with solvents, and how we manage that material? Because at the end of the day, a spent solvent comes out as a hazardous waste, right? So we focused our efforts there over in the paint line area. So we teamed up with our vendor and said, hey, do you guys have a way of reusing or recycling this material? And they got back with us and said, yeah, absolutely. You can send us the spent solvents. We'll separate them out and either reintroduce them into the market via another customer, or we can send it back to you guys at the facility, but we can keep it from going to disposal. So we signed up for that, of course, and said, we're going to be able to save about 35,000 pounds of solvent usage a year that would have otherwise gone out for disposal. So
that's awesome. Okay, and Ryan, with curing paints at a high temperature like that,
yeah.
Are there air quality issues that we're concerned about?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're a registered Title V facility through the Kentucky Division of Air Quality, and we are required to control, of course, any of the VOC HAPs that are coming off the paint line. So we have the thermal oxidizer that is our controlling device for the release of the VOCs and HAPs, and basically we're allowed a certain limit every year, and we always find ourselves at a third of that value. We just really control everything that we can that's coming out of that stack at a destruction efficiency rate of about 94.8%. So
that's terrific. Excellent. So we've been able to describe some of the manufacturing processes and the sustainability of those manufacturing processes here in the Benton facility, and the products that we manufacture here are also very sustainable. But Ryan, what are some of the other things that we're working on in the Benton plant to improve the sustainability here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're approaching sustainability from so many different angles. We no longer allow our 4x4 pallets to go to landfill. So we've contacted a local pallet vendor who's interested in reworking, repurposing those pallets, and using them as fuel in his heat treatment kiln. We've converted over to ProBoss for our cooling towers, so we're no longer using traditional chemicals to treat that water, which is really good for the environment. We now have moved to 65% of LED lighting in the production area of the plant, so we're steadily going towards 100%. We now recycle, of course, all of our 55-gallon drums that are just excess drums that we no longer need for production purposes. Instead of throwing them to landfill, we're actually sending them out for scrap metal. And just a lot of other improvements we've made across the Benton facility right now that we're hoping to track to completion.
Terrific. Now we're going to go out, we're going to take a plant tour, show you some of the great things that we've been telling you about, and you can actually see all the efforts that are going on here in the Benton plant.
All right, now the fun part. We get to go on the plant tour. There's going to be a lot on this tour we can't show you for obvious proprietary reasons, but we'll show you what you can. And anybody who knows me knows I'm an absolute plant tour geek. I was literally raised in a facility similar to this, learning to run regrind, shipping and receiving, turret lathes, injection molding machines, and even before I could shave, I was setting molds in our family facility. So tours like this are great for me. So we're getting ready to grab Ryan, run outside, actually see the materials made, and see what we can show you and learn a little bit about that. So come on, we're gonna head on outside. Thank you.
Okay, here behind us you can see the saw that's cutting the Centra sheet. That's what this burn, dust that comes from the saw is extracted with a vacuum system placed in this big hopper. So here we have the Centra soft line super sacks that are full. This one's about 80 pounds. This material is going to be sent out. We have several bags. It will be sent out to our buyer who's interested in this material, and it will be repurposed and reintroduced into the material cycle. And
now we're here with our 4x4 pallets that Ryan talked about earlier.
Yeah, so these pallets, we're no longer allowed to go to landfill. So we have a local pallet vendor that picks them up. He'll rework them, repurpose them, or he'll use them as fuel in his heat treatment process. Okay, we're over here at the Alucobond production line. What I have sitting in front of me down here is what we call shock. Right, so this material came off the line, maybe it was a quality defect, maybe it was a metal spike. We pulled that material off to the side, and the reason I want to talk about it is we can kind of highlight the recyclability of Alucobond material just kind of by looking here at what we've got. So when you look, when we remove this material, the Alucobond sheet, of course, has a sheet of metal across the top with the core in the middle and then another sheet of aluminum. What we can do with the Alucobond product is separate out the metal from the core. So that's what we do with our scrap. We're able to send it back, the core, to our regrind process, reintroduce that material into our production. We're able to separate the metal off and recycle it out. So it's 100% recyclable product. So behind us we have our thermal oxidizer. The oxidizer is connected to the heat treatment ovens for the paint line. So basically what it's doing is extracting those VOCs it has from the paint process, and we're just at our destruction efficiency rate of 94.8% controlling the emissions coming off of the stack. Okay, so again, we've got a cooling tower behind us right now. We are moving away from traditional chemicals to treat the water, and we're actually utilizing now a moss. It's called ProMoss, and it's a natural material that's actually mined up north in a lake. The material allows you to move from those traditional chemicals that can be very harmful to the environment to local aquatic life and something that's more sustainable.
So how great was that first part in Benton, watching the manufacturing facility there? Here we are for part two. We're in Glasgow, Kentucky, not too far away from the Corvette Hall of Fame and the Corvette manufacturing plant. So if any of you like speed cars like me, it was pretty cool to see that. But today we're here in Glasgow, and Anna, we're going to see some more manufacturing today.
We're going to check out foam core, and we're going to see the foam that's put into the Gator foam.
So come on inside and we'll see some more products being made, and we'll have a blast.
So we're now inside of the Glasgow plant. This is our PET material. It's a foam material. These are some of the offcuts that we use, so we can grind them back up. They go right back into the process to make more PET foam. So in the Glasgow plant, this is our thick foam production line. Not running right now, but as the thick foam is being produced, the edges are rounded. And so to trim those edges off and square them, there's a saw in here that will cut that off. All of that offcut goes back up through this piping system, sent down to the end of the building where it's all collected, ground up, goes back into the process again. So this piece of equipment takes this powder that comes off of the processing line over at the PET foam line and turns it back into pellet material that can then go back into the process. Starting in 2019, we started recycling all the paper that comes off of the line that we couldn't reuse or couldn't use, or smaller butt rolls, things like that. So this trailer is parked here at the plant, gets filled up, and they pick it up about once a week now, and it all goes back into the paper recycling process. So welcome to the Statesville, North Carolina manufacturing plant for 3A Composites. I'm Doug Twitchell, Director of Distributor Relations for 3A. In this plant, we have made products for the furniture industry for many, many, many years. We also make Gator Plast here. This is the birthplace of Gator foam. So we'll go inside, take a look at some of the sustainability efforts from the Statesville, North Carolina plant. So this is the thick foam that comes in from the Glasgow plant that I showed you. And this, you can see, it's not perfectly flat. So it's cut. We trim off the areas that are not perfectly flat, collect those, and then we send those back to Glasgow for reprocessing. So from that area, we take those thick foam blocks, bring them over here where we cut them to the proper thickness to make both gator foam and gator plast. And those outside skins that are not the correct thickness that we trim off to get to the perfect sheets, we take those, and you can see how thin it is here and how thick this area is. Dramatic difference. So these are the ones that are collected then, sent back to Glasgow, where they grind them up and make more foam for us. So the Statesville plant doesn't send any of the old pallets to the landfill. They're all collected here. We slide them into this dumpster where they're ground up and used in mulch.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed that. And next step we're going to do, after going through and seeing that, we can only show you so much for proprietary reasons, but I still think it's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm a plant tour geek, so that was a blast for me. Thanks, Ryan. And then we're going to hand it off to Ryan here for a little bit to expand a little bit on what you saw.
Yeah, just I think in summary, in that video, you can see that as a company, 3A is very interested in identifying new ways to recycle material within a life cycle approach. Our goal is to continue these efforts at each facility and drive waste reduction while also shifting our efforts and resources towards recyclability. And I guess I'll kick it back to Anna.
Yes.
Yeah.
To help with future efforts and also current efforts, we created a sustainability committee this past August, and it's representative of all the facilities, the divisions, the departments. And we have 12 people to help with that. And we're also looking at certification programs to acknowledge our efforts and to also look for opportunities to improve within our operations. And recently, we were able to another facility to our list of FSC chain of custody facilities. So Glasgow Kentucky facility and our Statesville, North Carolina facility are FSC chain of custody certified, and FSC stands for Forest Stewardship Council, and this is a nonprofit organization that promotes sustainable management of forest. And so for any questions, Alan and Doug will answer some.
Very good. And one thing I just want to add, all four of us, Anna, Doug, Ryan, and myself, were part of that sustainability committee for 3A. And when we were with Ryan, we can't show you the data for reasons, but it was really, really cool to see how, we're consistently getting better every year. Our production is going this direction, it's all I can say, and our energy and waste output is going, so we're making more product, but we're using less energy and creating less waste every year. So great job by everyone at 3A with that. I can't give you the specific numbers, but really impressed to see that. It is certainly something that we're committed to continuing in that direction. And then we'll hand it off. Did any questions come in? Anything come in? If so, let's get to those.
Yeah, I had a couple that came in separately. Have we looked at any other ways to reduce energy consumption? Ryan, I guess this one's for you.
Yeah, so I think that's driven, primarily right now through our ISO 14001 being certified with that standard. There's goals and objectives there that we're trying to meet, and we establish those each year to say that, hey, maybe we're going to do, 5% or 10% reduction in utility consumption. And our goal is to get to where we're measuring consumption at each line at a very granular level to try to understand fully where our consumption where we're utilizing most of our energy, and then just trying to identify ways to reduce that. So we're kind of building the data right now, and then our goal is to really get in there and pinpoint each line and find ways to improve, whether that's just in raw energy consumption, or that's waste reduction, or there's product stewardship, maybe what we do with our finished goods. And so we're just kind of working through all that right now.
Very cool. A second one that came in, what do you do with the unused paint?
So most of the unused paint basically goes out right now. It's as has waste. Through solvent reclamation, through our provider or supplier, we were able to send the solvents back, the spent solvents, and run them through a centrifuge and separate out the solids to where we're getting back to like a virgin spec material, and then purchasing that back or making it available for another customer to buy through that supplier. For paint, it's kind of hard right now. So a lot of times we try to use the paint in-house to maybe as a backside coating, on a piece of alucobond where maybe that's not an important thing for a customer. We do try to find some utility for it in-house, but I think primarily right now that material is continuing to go out as waste.
Okay. And then the final one that I got was, are there any certifications or alliances around sustainability that 3A is a part of?
I'll save Ryan on this one a little bit. He's had a tough enough time with the little light bulb over his head. Answer this question. With this, again, we can't give specifics, but with the sustainability committee that we're all on, let's just say we're in works in several different places, leading edge kind of stuff towards working with sustainability moving forward. I'm confident to say we're one of the most forward-thinking companies out there in where we're going. Some of these places we're first people in line to kind of really start to kick something off. And Anna's going to have on our website, is going to be updating a sustainability section on our website. And when these become official and we can divulge the information to everybody, we'll put that on our website as part of our sustainability commitment. But it'll be some pretty big announcements coming up next year. Some really cool things coming down the road.
Awesome. Well, if anyone else has any other questions, you can send them in the chat box. Otherwise, we can wrap this up and let you guys get back to your day.
Yep, perfect. We're just about out of time. So thanks to Ryan, the expert, for coming on. Thank you, Anna. As always, my partner in crime, Doug. Thank you for being here. And to everyone else, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time on 3A Composites Live Learning. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.